What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis here, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are back for the GDL Season 2 Week 3 battle when we go up against DyeItTight and his team beat the new Britain Rockruffs. His YouTube channel will be down below in the description, just like all of the coaches in the GDL Season 2, so make sure to check him out after this battle from his side of point of view and his run throughout this season. And the last time that I got to play him was, I believe, UBL Season 3 semifinals, which was back in the Generation 7, if you happen to be that long in my channel. Hopefully you have been. If not, make sure to check out from those if you're curious to see how it's been gone for us. And I think that's the only time that we have got to play, and fortunately for me back then, I was able to beat him in that semifinals battle. But he has a very scary roster, which you can check down below in the description. I leave a link through Automatic's website where you can go check his team, and then you can kind of compare that to my own roster, which I also will leave a separate link for. So if you're curious about the matchup and the team that I'm bringing, which I leave copy paste for, the description will be there for you to help on that. But now let's go and see what DyeItTight is gonna be bringing. I'm really worried about his flinch score being Chirachi and Togegis. Little Rockruff is actually a big threat right now with the new moves that it got access to, like Play Rough and Close Combat and Psychic Fangs and Thought Claws boosted. It's gonna be very annoying to deal with. And then he has my Kryptonite in Kurem, which tends to always hacks me. Knock on wood, it won't happen this time around if he does decide to bring it, which I think he will. And then he has some other little shenanigans mods that we have to worry about. But let's now see what he decides to bring from his point of view. And we get to see that he does bring Vigavolt, Little Rock Dusk, Chirachi, Skuntank, Duraludon, and Togegis. So big plus is that he didn't bring the Kurem, which I'm quite happy about. The annoying part is that he does bring the Vigavolt, but since I don't have actually defog, if I remember right, on Skarmory anymore, but I have Clear Body on my Dragapult, so that can always outspeed things, but it's gonna slow down my Celebi and my G-Max Grimmsnarl a little bit, to the point that I'm not really happy about that. But regards to as a lead, I kinda like my Rotom Heat. He also did not bring Gastrodon, which is really nice. But Rotom Heat looks pretty nice as a lead. The only thing that I would worry about would be the Little Rock Dusk. But I have my couple of answers for that. So I think I will stick that as my lead and go from there. Just so I have a good matchup versus the Vigavolt, the first and foremost. But it can also deal other 4 members of his team. And the one that I don't have matchup for, I do have a couple of responses in my pack of my hand. Being the defensive Celebi and Skarmory. So let's see how this is gonna go, and hopefully my choice specs Hex Dragapult gets to do a lot of work once this Skuntank is worn down, because I'm bringing quite a bit of status on the team just to make my Hex stronger through my Will-O-Wisp, Rotom Heat, Thunder Wave, Celebi and Toxic on the Skarmory. So he leads with the Duraludon right from the get-go. So that's gonna be his lead of choice, which could get scary if he Gigamaxes right away, because this is his Gigamax mod in itself. I do outpace it guaranteed, so I could go for the Volt Switch right into my Snorlax and see what he's all about, because Overheat should be killing him, and he should not be risking that by any means. So I'm gonna be going for the Volt Switch. And I feel like he's forced to G-Max, cause the Overheat will be doing a lot of damage to him, and he does decide to G-Max. And I'm gonna be just Volt switching into my Snorlax, which can tank these hits quite well, cause barring the body press, all of them I would anticipate to be at least special. He could run physical, which could get me off guard, but I don't need the Snorlax necessarily as much in this matchup, barring a couple of his other special attackers, but mainly it was there for the Kurem, and that's why I'm kind of willing to go into my Snorlax, get that chip damage off, and ensure that Gordon is not staying in on these G-Max turns. So we go into our Snorlax. Hopefully it's going to be a special attack. I do have Chopo Berry just in case as well, as he does go for the G-Max, the signature move. And that to me looks to be that it's a special orientated set. So here, I think I'm gonna be going just for the Earthquake. Get some cheap damage on this thing. And I expect him to go for this steel type move, because I saw him week 1 running body press on this and try to utilize max steel spike to boost up that body press in itself. So we are gonna be seeing that coming on our way, but we have Sobo Berry still if necessary. So now I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake, get some chip damage on him, even though it's gonna be +1 defense. And here I could swap into my Rotom Heat if I so choose to. Even riskier play would be my the other guy here, but I think my Gordon should be able to take any one hit, and then I can outspeed it on the following turn. So I'm gonna be going to my Rotom Heat. I can also Will-O-Wisp it on the following turn, or I go for the... Honestly, I should go for the Overheat on the following turn. So he's gonna be going for the Steel Spike yet again, which we can take relatively well, because we resist it, and we do. So that's beautiful. And now I want to think, even though I'm not offensive Rotom Heat, I'm gonna check right now how much my pivoting Rotom Heat would do a offensive to Rolodan. I would do 88% minimum to him, unless he has bulk investment. So this would should ideally kill him. So I'm gonna be doing just that and go for the Overheat, as he does decide to swap out. And who does he decide to go into? That is the Luzarok, which I am okay with. If I would have Will-O-Wisp there, that would have been fantastic, but I do get some good damage on him, which is really nice. So now we have been able to deal with his G-Max at this point, and now we just hard swap into our Skarmory. I'm not gonna think about this too much. If he decides to set up, I have Body Press to take him out on the following turn, and Sturdy if he doesn't go for attacking move. And now we get to see that what kind of boosting item he might be. He does go for the Stone Edge, lands it, and that doesn't look Choice Bandit to me. It did 72 damage to me, so let me check. Lusan, I know I also pronounced Luzarok completely the wrong way, as people would be properly pronouncing it, but it did 72 to me. That actually might be still Choice Bandit. Yeah, that's actually definitely Choice Bandit. So that's good to know, but very scary at the same time. So I think I have to Roost, while it would give him the Vigavolt, but I need this thing healthy. I cannot allow my check to this Luzarok get weakened any further. I expect the Vigavolt to show up, and I want to think that is. And that is going to be shoutouts to Milan, good buddy of both of us. I call him Veli as a Finnish way to say brother, even though he's not technically my brother, but like as someone that both of us know very well, I just want to mention that. And now I could see him going for the Sticky Webs if anything. But either way, I think Rotom Heat should be perfectly fine here to go into. It should not be able to get anything to hit me, barring maybe going for a Toxic. But I see him going for a Volt Switch or Sticky Webs on this turn. Let's see which he does. He does go for the Volt Switch, so good play by him. But Gordon can be able to take that decently well. And I still have Pain Split as a form of recovery versus his other mons that I can do that as well. And now if he goes into the Luzarok, I still have my Skarmory fully healthy. So I don't really mind that too much. And at this point I feel like I just do the same play, even though it's super obvious. I kinda have to. So this is kinda like the annoying part here. Like he does decide to stay, because he should have swapped first if he made any kind of double. So let's see what he does now. Does he go for the close combat? He does go for the Stone Edge again. He does land it yet again. But now it's gonna be doing a little bit less than last time, which is nice. And from here on out, I'm thinking, should I put Stealth Rocks up? Or should I Roost up? I think I still have to be patient with this and go for the Roost on this turn. And see that he probably will swap out yet again to the Rotom Heat. Not Rotom Heat, to the Vigavolt, which I used Rotom Heat as a pivot last time. But we're gonna be going for the Roost yet again on this turn. Just to keep ourselves healthy, we have to do this. It's kinda annoying to play this defensively on these couple of turns, but I feel like it's kinda necessary. Now I do swap into Snorlax, kinda preserving my Rotom Heat, because it's still really nice for his Togekiss as well. And I rather have now Snorlax dealing with this if he does go for like a Volt Switch, for example. Which he does yet again. He does go for that, and now I would anticipate yet again to see the Luzaro coming in, because yet again it's the hardest thing for me to switch into, but thankfully I still have the Skarmory at full health. And let's see. We could see a very repeatable progress here, that we are doing pretty much same plays. Or he does decide to go into Duraludon, okay. He does go into this. I do have a Chopo Berry on this, so I wonder if Duraludon at this health would take me out. Duraludon. He could also try to get up his rocks if anything. That could be also very, very much of a possibility. Let me put Body Press on you. Come on, Calculator, don't be working against me here. Yeah, I definitely should be tanking this, because I do have the Chopo Berry, so I could just go for the rest here, just to get myself healthy. So I'm gonna be doing just that and see what he does. He does go for the Stealth Rocks, which is annoying, because we have been doing so many swaps back and forth, so that's gonna be limiting my swaps, but now at least I get this one off. And we can go from there. I don't have a remover on this team, so those rocks will be here to stay. But now I can debate that do I... Because I could go into my Celebi here, kinda tank the Body Press pretty well, and get this thing Thunder Waved. Or I could burn one of my Sleep Talks, but I think I'll go into my Celebi. I think I will do just that. I will preserve my Chopo Berry, because it can be nice for the Luzarok as well. And he didn't bring the Gastrodon, which I'm mainly worried about him having. So he does go for the Body Press. We should be eating this just fine, because we are Celebi and we are fully physically defensive as well. So we are going to be taking that quite nicely, and I don't see anything barring maybe the Vikavolt coming on me. I could also go for the Thunder Wave as well, but let's see. He had Shiratsi, he has Skuntank, yeah. He has quite a few things, so I think I want to go for the Thunder Wave off the chance he doesn't go into the Vikavolt. I could also go for the U-turn. I think I go for the U-turn to see what his initial response and not reveal Thunder Wave just yet. He does swap out. Is it going to be the okay, it is the Vikavolt. I'm glad I didn't go for the Thunder Wave and reveal that just yet. And now I finally get some initiative of my own. And do I just go into Grimmsnarl and do just really dirty on him? Or I go into... Let me see, how much my Dragapult will be doing to Vikavolt. I don't think I will be killing him just yet, and I cannot go for... Yeah, I won't be killing him just yet. I could go into my Grimmsnarl and G-Max here. Or I can go into just my Rotom Hit and just click Overhit. I think that's probably the best play. I could also go for the Volt Switch on this turn as well. I think I go for the Volt Switch on this turn, because I don't anticipate him to stay in on this turn. So I'm gonna be going for the Volt Switch, just to get some guarantee initiative here. I don't expect him to stay in. It would be such a risky play for him to do. Like, he could do this, trying to think that I would not click Overheat this time around, but like Overheat is at the same time relatively free if he thinks that I just want the damage. He does hard swap out, so I do get the initiative, and he does go into the Duraludon, which he tried to sack, but at least I get this one right. I get to go for my Volt Switch, and here I can go for the go into my Dragapult and get my Shadow Ball off on something. Get an intel that does he have a good defensive response to a Choice Specs Dragapult. I am modest, but not fully special attack. I have a little bit defensive investment if he wasn't a Choice Banded Wilson Rock with Sucker Punch. But we are gonna be going for the Shadow Ball. Hopefully I kill this thing or be able to 2-hit KO something else on a switching. But now I get to at least to tell, like I could see Spedev Togekiss being a thing. Ghosty, who is Ghosty? That is the Togekiss. Okay, so let's see how much I do to you. You might be especially defensive. And we do get this Spedev drop, which is used. Do you have leftovers? You do not have leftovers. Okay, I got lucky on that turn. Does it mean that I now get a guaranteed kill? Cause how much did I do to you? Level 50. We have our Dragapult. Yeah, I want to say this is a guaranteed kill, so I'm gonna be going for that. I wanna say that kills after this death drop. He does swap out, meaning that he does get pretty unlucky with that, and now he does have to go into this gun tank, and we get more chip damage on him. And now we get that damage onto this gun tank, which is gonna be doing a lot of damage because I get a crit as well. So that's pretty huge. So I got very lucky on those 2 turns. And he is a Black Slug variant. Okay, so I don't know yet if you're physical, if you're special. So honestly, I kind of want to think that maybe I should go into my Snorlax, because I don't want my Skarmory to be surprised by a Fire Blast or Flamethrower, knowing that how essential it is for that Lycanroc. So we're gonna be utilizing Snorlax as a pivot for this. And any one of my attacking moves should be okay versus this thing. So he does go for the Dark Pulse, so I'm very glad I swap into my Snorlax and not risking my Skarmory on this thing. And now I get to go for a Sleep Talk and hopefully get some damage on something coming into me. We have Body Slam, off the chance I get a Paralyzation off, and obviously as a Stab. And then we have Earthquake for his Steel type. So he does swap out. And who does he... he is willing to let the Duraludon go down. That's the most expendable to his eyes, which I can see why. But now we just go for the Sleep Talk. Hopefully we get an attacking move out so we can get some damage. We do get the Earthquake, which is the best case scenario. And we do actually kill him, I think. Yeah, we do actually kill him, so that's really nice. Yet again, I have to mention, I am definitely lucky on these few turns in a row. Well, past 4 turns, 3 turns have been very fortunate for me, so I'm not gonna act they weren't very lucky for myself. So now he does bring the Lycanroc, and now I want to think that my Skarmory would be 2-hit KO'd by this thing, so I kind of want to just stay in and be able to go for a Sleep Talk and get a damage off on this thing, because now this would be really huge. He does go for the close combat. I have the Chopo Berry on this thing, so ideally we do get a damage off, and we do live it, which is really nice. So if I do now get an attacking off, that would be really nice. We get the Sleep Talk. Come on GCC, come on GCC, come on GCC, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Body Slam, that might be already enough that I at least get that. We got a lot of damage on you, and we get the Paralyzation. My goodness. My goodness. And now we go into our Savior. On this turn, we know he's Choice Bandit, so I will preserve this. And now I don't know, I believe I still am outslowed by Lycanroc, so we don't know guaranteed that what he will be. He does go for the close combat yet again, and now I just go for freely for U-turn, because this thing should die to a U-turn coming from a Celebi, even though I'm not like a... Even though I am a bold nature, but I still don't think I have IB slower than his -2 defense. So we are gonna be going for the U-turn and get some damage off on something. And Dragapult at this point looks pretty nice, because the Togekiss is in a range that it can swap into things. Skuntank has taken a lot of damage, so I'm in a good spot right now, but now I have to try to make sure that I keep this thing going. But I won't be disagreeing by any means that I'm in this good position, because I got lucky, and I definitely have been lucky in this battle. And now, who would I like to come in here? I can go into the Dragapult, which should be doing a good amount of damage to everything. How much is the Vikavolt taking from me? Because I can easily go into that if I just do enough. Or I can go into my Rotom Hit. I think the Rotom Hit is always safe play, and I can go for the Overhit. So I'm gonna be doing just that. I don't want the Dragapult to take any unnecessary damage just yet. So I'm gonna be going for the Overhit and get some damage on this thing. Well, some damage meaning that it would die, or something else has to take this damage as a following turn. I could see him sacking the Lycanroc Dusk at this point, because it's relatively weakened and also paralyzed. But he could also try to utilize it still as a big nuke hit to hit something really hard. If he values something a little bit less. But he does let the Vigavolt go down, which is really nice. So we take down Milan the Vigavolt, unfortunately for him. But that's a good thing for us, because that was a little bit annoying, because it can always volt switch for free for momentum, because I did not bring Quagsire or my Alolan Duck Trio to stop it, to gain that initiative. So now the Lizardrock does come in, so this is the tough mon for us to deal with. Part of me just wants to go into Celebi, because I want to say I take any one hit, unless it's the Stone Edge. I don't think I need Celebi for anything else, so I think I'll go into the Celebi. If he connects his move, if he goes for the Stone Edge, so be it. And the Celebi doesn't help me versus anything else, versus his remaining of his team. He does get paralyzed, so that is pretty big. That is pretty big for us. So at this point, I could try to go for Recover, just to be able to keep myself healthy, or I can go for the U-turn. I think I go for the U-turn just to try to keep up the momentum, if he still chooses to keep this thing. He does go for the Axel Rock instead. Alright. He does go for that, and the U-turn does manage to kill him, so good on us, good on Celebi to be able to do that. And who do I go into? I think I go into my Rotom Heat, because that keeps the Togekiss not coming out and get itself healthy. So I will be doing just that and nothing about it further than that. Kinda convinced myself that, yeah, I don't want the Togekiss get a free roost off, so let's go into our Rotom Heat and prevent that to be happening. He has the Skuntank left, he has the Jirachi left, he has the Togekiss left. And then there is the Jirachi, okay. So I have no idea what this Jirachi is, which is kind of scary on its own right. It could be Ancient Power for all I know, and that would be really annoying. I think I sacked my Snorlax just to see what he's all about. See kind of what kind of set he is, and then I can go into my G-Max Grimmsnow and just start blowing things back if things get really hairy. But I'll sack my Snorlax, I'm not gonna even try to preserve a 6-0. I just wanna see what move he's going for. He does go for the Zen Headbutt, so he might be a Choice Scout Jirachi. So I could go into my Grimmsnow here, expecting that to be the case. I can also go into my Skarmory thinking that is the physical set, and essentially get a Toxic off on something, or a Body Press. I think I go into my Skarmory because it doesn't have any other purpose. I get to see a little bit more intel about this Jirachi set, if it is Choice Scarf or not. And I think I can go for basically Rocks here, just to make sure that I get something out of the turn. Or I go for the Toxic, predicting the Togekiss to come in. I kinda like the Toxic play, just to try to predict the Togekiss to come in on this turn. He could also go to the Skuntank, which would be the worst case scenario. And as I said, and there it is. Okay, so we got that little bit unfortunate ways. But I do want to keep this Skarmory healthy, because now I know that the Jirachi is most likely choiced. And it's leaning towards to be physical with it running Zen Headbutt. So here, I think I'll just go into Celebi, because it doesn't serve any other purpose. So I just try to get a free switching for myself. I could go into Rotom Heat and predict the Flamethrower, but I'd rather play it safe at this point. I'm not thinking the differential too much. I want to make sure that I win this battle. He does go for the Dark Pulse. Fair play by him. So that would have made the Rotom Heat play a little bit less ideal if I would have done that. So he does gain a little bit more healthy on this thing. I could utilize my Grimmsnow now just to be able to weaken this thing down, which I kind of want to do. I'm gonna go into my Grimmsnow versus a Poison type, but I want to start nuking stuff at this point and get some guaranteed damages off. And if he goes into Jirachi on a hard switch, that's fine. We know his Black Slug already, that's no big news for us. But now we just go G-Max Max Starfall, just to start doing big damage, and ideally just killing this thing, because this could be like a special defensive with Black Slug to help dealing with the Dragapult, for example. But either way, I just want to get some huge damage on this thing. So it's easier in a range, because Dragapult is kind of like the win con versus this thing, to be able to revenge kill it. It can beat the Togekiss if it's not Choice Scarf, and the Jirachi I can manage. So we're gonna be just going for the G-Max just to get some huge damage on this guy. And go from there. So he probably will go for... He goes for the Substitute, okay. That's a cool tech from his behalf, but it's still... Even though I'm spending my G-Max turns here, it's kind of still providing the purpose that I kind of pulled this trigger anyway, but it's not as efficient way as I was liking to. But cool prep from his behalf using the Substitute. So this actually played to his hands a little bit, because he had this kind of idea in the back, but I still stand by with this play, because I want this thing to be weak, and if this means this is the way I'm gonna be doing it, that's perfectly fine, and I have to keep going for the G-Max Starfall. He does go for the Substitute yet again, and after this he has one more left. But I do also have the Sucker Punch if he tries to attack me, that I can prevent him to able to do that on the final turn, as he should be low enough to be dying to Sucker Punch. And the Sucker Punch in itself will be valuable versus the Jirachi when it's Choice Scarf. So keeping my Grimmsnarl alive and not dying to Stealth Rocks is gonna be huge as well. But we're gonna be going for another one. He might just go for the Substitute yet again, as he does. And after this turn he might be in a range of the... He might be in a range of the Sucker Punch, but I lean towards that he is not. Skuntank if you're max HP, level 50 versus a Grimmsnarl. Sucker Punch would do 23 to 27. That is a roll. That is a roll. I have the option to go into Grimmsnarl and predict this, and just go for the Shadow Ball to kill it. So I think I'll do that, because I really have a hunch that the... I have a hunch that the Jirachi is Choice Scarf, so I want to make sure that I don't avoid getting the roll, and then happen to get a poison, and then I die to Stealth Rocks. He does go for the Poison Jab instead. Okay, so he ran that instead. And we don't get poison, which is really lucky for us, considering all the things that has gone our opponent's way. But now we just go for the Shadow Ball. I would like to think that this kills. He does have Sucker Punch on it. And we live, because he didn't have enough attack investment. So, cool set from his behalf. He ran a lot of mixture of options. He had Substitute, he had a Dark Pulse, he had Poison Jab, and he also had the Sucker Punch in itself. So, cool set, little bit different moveset that I was expecting it to show up, but it worked out for him almost. But thankfully I had the defense investment on this thing. So he does go into the Jirachi. He probably will click U-turn just to ensure the kill, and now I get to see if he's Choice Scarf or not, at very least. And he does go for the Iron Head. Okay, so that is going to be his set. And now, do I just go into my Skarmory just to get the Toxicov on the Togekiss? Do I just go into this to go for the Sucker Punch? No. I could go into... I think this Skarmory is fair play, because I know his Choice Scarf. So I go into this, get up the Toxic on the... I get up the Toxic on the Togekiss ideally. So I keep it on a timer so Rotom Heat can 1v1 it from there. So that's going to be the end goal. He does swap out. I could have also swapped into my Rotom Heat. That would have been a very strong play. Honestly, in a hindsight, I should have done that. But hopefully we land the Toxic, and we do land the Toxic. So in a hindsight, I will say that I should have swapped into Rotom Heat. But this also works out, but I risked the miss. So it wasn't as perfect play for my behalf. But that's just something to learn about, for more so for myself, but maybe for you as a viewers. And for those that call it out, you were right on that I should have done that play. But now we're just going to Rotom Heat on this. We got this Togekiss on the timer, so even if he tries to flinch me down on anything else, we should be good to go. He does swap out. Good play by him. knowing that the Rotom Heat will be coming on this. And now we get to see that do I swap into Discovery or not. But I think I will, because I want to keep this thing alive for the... I want to keep this thing healthy for the Togekiss, which is essential for me. So I will swap. He could go for the Fire Punch or Thunder Punch to predict this, or even a Trick. But either way, I will remain and go with the Discovery play. Let's see what he does. He does go for the Trick. Good play by him. Good play. This means that he's not choice locked anymore. He does gain actually the leftovers as well. So that is unfortunate, but I can also go for the Body Press here. Which I think I will do. I'll go for the Body Press just to get some damage on this thing. As he does start to go for the Zen Headbutts here. So solid play by him. I could have thought of also going to my Grimmsnarl on that turn. But we get some good damage on him with that Body Press. Now he knows that I'm locked into this. So he could try to swap out. But at the same time I don't think it's my best interest to do that. I think I keep going for the Body Press. Let him swap out first. And then react on that. I should be still okay just getting these Body Presses off on the Jirachi. And he does go for the Iron Head yet again. Tries to get the flinch, and I am fortunate that I don't get flinch right there. So I'm getting him more and more in a range of Sucker Punch, which I haven't yet revealed on my Grimmsnarl. If he tries to predict and go for a Trick, it doesn't affect my Grimmsnarl anymore, because he would actually give me leftovers and give himself a Master Ball as a holding item. But now he does swap into the Togekiss, but at least I get some cheap damage on that. Well, I guess the more cheap damage comes from the one turn of Toxic, not from this Body Press. This is probably gonna do literally like 2 HP to him, because it's water resisted. It might move the HP bar. It might actually. Let's see if the HP bar actually moves here. It moved a little bit. Did I actually get a crit on that? No, it just did. Okay. I did more damage than I was anticipating myself to do. So we are going back to the Rotom Heat on this turn. And I just go for the Volt Switch if he... Okay, he does stay in. So I should be able to get a kill with a Volt Switch here. Let's see what he does. He does go for the Air Slash. And I am max speed on this thing, so I should be able to get a kill with this. Yeah, we are gonna be going for the Volt Switch. I have to watch. The timer is worrying some for me, so I have to also start to guarantee these kills. So the Jirachi goes down. Well, not Jirachi. The Togekiss goes down. And here I could just go into my Skarmory here and start clicking Body Presses here. And that should be enough. If he does start to flinch me now, it would be a little bit annoying, but I'm also worried that if he starts to avoid the... If he starts to worry about worrying about the Sucker Punches from my other guy. But we go into this. We click the Body Press. I have 1 minute 41 seconds left. I have to keep that in mind. So he does go for the Iron Head here. Which we'll see if it's gonna be able to flinch me or not. It didn't flinch me. So I get another Body Press off on him, which is nice. And I think I could swap into my... No, I'll stick with this. Let's stick with this. I'm not gonna try to spend too much time. If he takes me down, he takes me down. So be it. And we do get flinch right there. So now he does get a turn of leftovers. But we click Body Press yet again. 1 minute 37 seconds. The more time that he takes on his turn, it's gonna be taken away from himself. But we are gonna be going for the Body Press yet again. We do get it off, which is nice. And if we only get one more, that should be the game. So hopefully Skarmory can get this one body press off, if not it goes down, and then I just go into my Rotom Heat, potentially just click the Volt Switch on that turn. As we do go down to it, which is unfortunate. And at this point, I think I'll just go into my Myotismon and go for the Sucker Punches. Hopefully he doesn't start like going for trick shenanigans and this is gonna take even longer time. He might do it if he's really adamant about winning this game, but all of his other moves besides the leftovers are attacking moves, so I go for the Sucker Punch. And is it a successful one? It is. So great game to DyeItTight. I'm very okay. Speaking of that, I'm very sorry about the hexes that went into his way. It's very ironic, similar to his week 2, what he talked to me a brief. I haven't seen it, and make sure to check it out if you haven't watched his side for week 2 after this battle. But it's very ironic when you have a team with Jirachi and Togekiss that you get hacks yourself. He wasn't really planning to go for those. I didn't get a vibe that he tried to go for hexes, so that makes me feel more bad about the things that went into my way. But we get a W, we bounce back and move into 2-1 and +5 from here. And then week 4 we go up against Grandmaster D-Ray and his team. Or that coach we happened to get the chance to play in the APA Academy recently. In our regular season, I believe it was week 5. So now we get to play him on week 4. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like on this video if you enjoy the GDL Season 2 content from my point of view. And make sure to check out all of the other courses as well if you're more eager to see more draft league content from outside of you in this season, which Leo 6-foot hacks and Ogalpi are running for us. So stay tuned for the week 4. And until then, thank you for watching and I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.